Hey, everybody. Courtney, Eric, Cynthia, and Warrior Grandma, Ninja Orchids. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I'm pretty much on time. What, 2 minutes, 3 minutes late, if that? Took me a bath. Trying to catch up on the trial. Plurpy doo. Pammy B, hey. I love you too, Eric. Emily T. What's up, baby? Don't do it. My cat's wanting to jump over here. Hey, Rosewater. Kimberly. Ladybug. So I was thinking about doing an open panel, talk about whatever y'all want to talk about, whether it be, hey, Sammy, the weather, or the trial, whatever you want. Hey, Mordecai. Coco Loco. My sweet friend. It's good to see you. Stop it. Stop it. I do not want to play. I do not want to play. I have one cat that he just gets aggressive. Calm down, sir. So what I might do is pin the link. Hey, Lavender Sunday. But do I want to address the nutter that's threatening people? I don't know. I don't really feel like doing any drama. Who's watching the trial? Tell my snake you don't want to play. She'll nail you, really. Feels like coming home. Welcome home. Hey, Rama Grania, too. Cynthia, how are you feeling? I had a few rough days, y'all. Dirk, golly, I miss you. Hey, Crime Canary. Hey, Amazing Grace, you're watching it. Welcome back to the Winner Circle, Hot Coco Loco. You've been missed. Hey, Cajun Lady. I am catching up. Hey, Batty Boot. Carrot Top. Good. See, I wanted y'all remember Meech to come on with me one night and talk about this, but am I buffering? No. He's not watching it. He said he just don't want to get any more mad, and I understand. I do. I mean, I don't, but I do, So it's whatever, I would love to have him up here washing dishes but listening to me. But okay, we'll be here. 7 years in use of force review. That guy is screwed. Well, he should be screwed. He absolutely should be screwed. Arsenic Angel, what a name. Welcome. You haven't been watching, went through a lot of strong emotions when it happened, been avoiding feelings. I'm telling you, these feelings are so raw and real. Hey, Crazy Daisy, that it rips your heart out watching. Just seeing him sit there during this trial makes me want to just go and slap him. Hey, More Than Enough. It's good to see you. Buddy boo. I don't know. And then today, now let me ask y'all this, because he cannot prove that he used the minimum amount. No. Look, here's the thing. The autopsy says homicide. And the pickleball. Be careful. So there's no getting around it. When the autopsy says homicide, that's it. You're done, son. And now it's just a matter of when. Bish? Yes, I do. Sometimes, yes. So, I mean, it says homicide. Hi, Mandalyn. It's good to see you, Amanda. You have a horrible feeling? What do you mean? What do you mean? More than enough? The knee thing is used as a transition move, not a hold. Hey, Shell. Hey, polyester jumpers. Hello. I'm so glad to see y'all. Owen. Hello. See, and I took votes on my community page to see who wants to talk about it. There's some people don't even want to hear my big fat mouth, and I can't blame them. Who wants to hear me? Few people do. That's it. I had 241 votes. 69% does not, in fact, want to talk about this trial. So I'm Easter shopping, so I may miss comments, but love y'all. Gotta go. Disappointed in you. It says a lot about who we associate with. Okay, Bish. Well, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. The drugs. I think he will get convicted, but on a lesser charge. But here's the thing. The drug, that's not what killed him. It was homicide. And like I said yesterday, George Floyd's not on trial. He's not on trial. Whatever he's done, like his offenses that he... Oh, Bish with two B's just wanted to get a rub in. It's okay. Get your rub in. I don't care. That's how she feels. You're entitled to how you feel. Same, Kimberly. I never see community post. Hey, Helen. His supervisor should have put the brakes on his behavior long ago. I agree, because he had how many infractions against him? Like 17? Now. And then I do, in a way, feel a little bad for the guy that was on what, his fourth day on the job. Hey, P-Day, driving, but Floyd never got a trial. He paid the ultimate price from that asshole. Amen. That's not how it goes, and it's really sad. It should. I hope I'm wrong. Felt bad for the witness that had to relive it. Oh my gosh, me too. I absolutely agree with Cynthia too. Hey, little Kelly. You have to use the minimal amount of force necessary to gain compliance. Lavender Sunday knows the rules. And it's not that I do. I don't know the rules. But I know you can't kill someone. I know that. Even if you wear a uniform. Hey, Deborah Groovy. This is our heartbroken. Yeah, well, the 1820. Oh, I know. He felt so guilty about that $20. And, now we have a definite, because listen, I've heard, nope, there I go with listen. On and off, it was real, it was fake, it was real, it was fake. Hey, emoji girl. Good to see you. And now we know, it was a fake $20 bill. But what we don't know, we don't know if George Floyd knew that that was a fake $20 bill. We don't know that. Hey, Lens. Oh, he was definitely dying. And now, I mean, even, and I guess it was today that the paramedics have said he was gone. I have worked in psychiatric hospital the last 7 years. I have to go through restraint. Do not restrain face down. Well, did y'all see his face? They showed his face. I can't, and I'll tell you the one that got me, besides the child, the young, well, all of them are so young, but he worked at the bar, right? He could have gotten that tip from anyone. Right. We don't know. Exactly. I think that they said that there was more than 120, but he may have gotten more than that. Yeah, he was a head security at a bar. I think he was laid off due to COVID. Hopefully I see you, Wendy. I know, right, P-Day? I thought that today. I'm like, wow, we're just seeing it over and over and over. It's sad. So sad. I didn't see his face. How could you elaborate? Yes, today it showed him in the ambulance. And I told Jim, we was watching it together a while ago, and I said, they pointed to his nose, where his nose was bleeding. I said, look at those big bruises on the side of his face. That's where he's face down. Happy Easter weekend, Ontario chick. Thank you for coming in. I hope it's great for you. The trial, just going off what you heard. There have been... Oh, I've been following the trial, Allie V. What discrepancies? Want to come up? And I don't mean that in a mean way. I just want to know what you mean. Right. And just imagine Hot Cocoa seeing it in real time, like right there. What I thought about today, that man, because we all heard that man that was saying, you can't win. You can't win. You know, and he said that from the jump. Hey, Jen B. I've been modding for Scott Rich, I guess, since the trial started all day long. We've been streaming the trial live over there. Come join us. Oh, okay, Jen B. I have to catch it usually after work and in between. You can restrain face down when you roll them to their side when you see. And that's what the guy that had been on the job for 4 days, he said, don't we need to roll them on the side? That's what I was thinking, Hot Cocoa. Okay, Allie. So, you know, I'm kind of wondering about him, like what's he gonna get? I don't care if he was right. While cooking meth. I agree, Deborah Groovy. I absolutely agree. You don't get to be judge, jury, and executioner. You just don't. You don't. And they were that day. And hearing the crowd demand, you know, feel it, check his pulse, move, get off his neck. None of them listened. So sad. I'll pin the link for, let's see if somebody wants to. Oh, heck, I've hit something to make it smaller. Hate it when I do that. Let's see if I can do that or not. Hey, Ash. Girl, how are you? Hey, Desiree. Okay, now let's see if I can do this. Okay, the link is pinned. Ash, what's going on? Y'all catch me up. You got some drama. I think it's so, you know, us thugs roll mean and lean. Yeah. Pull the gun out on him. And yes, P-Day. Very telling, too, if you ask me. What have I hit? Okay. I think it is so funny that people are scared to type in here. Don't be afraid to type. For fuck's sake. Hey, Ninja. Van Lufus summaries. I can't watch the images. Yeah. Oh, everybody subscribe to Van Lufa because she's going over it really strong. Yes. She was right about the guy, the one that, you know, he's like, I train at the academy. And it basically got into a pissing contest between him and the defense attorney. Never pressure the neck unless your life is in danger and fighting for your life. Yeah, they weren't fighting for his life. He just didn't want to get in the car. And I don't know if people are scared of you. They're scared to be seen. And I think that is just embarrassing. Eric. Poor Eric. Was feared mod in the tubes. I'm sorry. Do I really? Hey, Andy. He said I'm claustrophobic. I think he panicked. He probably did panic. Yeah, Deborah, she did. And he said I can't breathe 27 times. And they're on there, I guess, people are saying how if you could talk, you could breathe. But no, you can get a small breath and talk. Let me know if you want me to voice my opinion. I do, Andy, and it's pinned. Legend has it, Ash is mean. Hey Mary. Right, Mary. My husband is claustrophobic. Andy, the link is pinned if you want to come up. I promise I won't be an asshole. Hey, Kim. He did. Hey, Smokey P. Girlfriend was a scumbag. I support law enforcement. I think GF was a scumbag. The girlfriend? I support law enforcement myself, not dirty officers, though. I'm with you. Would he get into a cop car if asked? Yes. Why are you in the doghouse, Smokey P? Who put you in the doghouse? Jim will work himself into a frenzy. Well, Cynthia, I heard I was a bully and that I'm the one out of two, one of the biggest bullies on YouTube. Now, this came from a person who I have spoke to several times off of YouTube, texted with several times off of YouTube, and who one time bought me a gift because I was so real and so nice. I am not shitting you. And I saw them say that I was one of the biggest bullies on YouTube. So, I got to quit listening, and I got to quit thinking everybody loves me. And I got to quit thinking that everybody that says they love me really do love me. And I got to just embrace the people that do love me. Me too, Lens. It's, it's what it is. Oh, we got a knock. It's Andy. Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you, Coco Loco.
What do I have to do?
What are you talking about? You're up here.
Weird. I can hear feedback. Why can I hear myself twice?
I don't know. You're not echoing for me.
I'm like on a delay or something.
Allie V, Allie V, what do you want me to answer? I'm informed about the case. Go ahead. Ask me anything. Have you lost your cotton picking freaking mind? Oh, I know, hot cocoa.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Yeah, but no, I'm still on a delay. I'm still like on a big delay.
Do you have any headphones?
No. Should I put them in?
Yeah, put them in. See if that works. But you answered right away. Like that's the thing. Allie V just wants to argue. Take a link or shut up. How about that? Obviously, one of us is informed, and it's not you. I thought that was the Allie V that was our buddy. No, I don't think so. Look behind you. I don't think I'll say that.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't hear myself.
Taz, how am I mean? She's done like 3 comments about me not knowing what I'm talking about. That's Allie's nurse? That's not Allie's nurse. It can't be. I didn't think so, Sin.
Hello?
I'm here.
No. But I can't hear you. I can hear you 10 minutes from now.
You just answered me. Oh, okay. No, our buddy is Allie's nurse. Gotcha. All right, Andy. Mike Brown, he was
What?
just maybe go out and come back.
All right, I'll go out and come back.
Okay. Hey, double shot. Oh, you're gonna be so. It's coming so soon. Your mom dresses you funny. You didn't have to. You can block them. That's fine. But you're gonna. It's coming soon, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh." I didn't hear a delay. She was responding right after you talked. Desiree, that's what I was thinking. It's coming very soon. Y'all, yeah. Keep coming in. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Can you hear me like right when I talk right now?
Yes.
No, I'm still getting an echo.
Are you wearing headphones or not?
Yes, I have headphones on.
And you're still getting an echo?
Yes, I'm still getting an echo. Well, like, I can't hear you. Like, as soon as I start talking, then.
Did you mute your YouTube side?
I don't know how to do that. Where's my YouTube side? I'm on my phone. I shouldn't have a YouTube side.
She needs to turn her other device off. Turn your other device off.
Where's my other device?
I don't know. Obi, I don't think so. I don't think she would do that to me. Behind the scenes, sort of, kind of. She's really no, Helen. This is a different Allie. Hey, break the silence. Drop it down from the top and hit stop. She needs to listen through. It won't be delayed if she's wearing headphones. I don't know. These are promise. Well, here's the thing. Hey, Miss Leah. This is the best episode of Randy's life ever. Listen, don't be quick to hide people. Let me know what I'm allowed to say. Hold on. Check your text, Cynthia. Andy?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, but I'm still getting your echo.
Are you on your phone?
All right.
Is that better?
No, I'm on my phone and I tried to do everything. So here's my thing about George Floyd, and then I'm going to have to leave the broadcast because I suck. So, you know how I feel about the cops, the police, the state police, because I'm in love with one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel that George Floyd should have ever gotten a folded flag. And I don't think that it should have mattered if he was claustrophobic and got in that car, because how did that pregnant woman feel that he held the gun to her belly?
Okay, hold on. Am I allowed to answer that? Cynthia says, I'll play the call as soon as my lawyer releases it, because just so everyone knows this, she had to get a lawyer. And the reason is because her son is special needs. So it goes under adult protective services. And so just trust and believe it's coming. So you'll see. And hey, listen, third time's the charm, right, guys? Can you please stop? I know who you are, and I wouldn't do this to you. Can you please stop? Okay, are you here, Andy?
I'm here.
Okay. So, first of all, if was he ever in the armed forces? Because if he wasn't, if he was never in the armed forces, then I can agree with the flag thing. Okay.
I have no idea if he was ever in the armed forces.
Exactly. So we need to find out before we judge if he was in the armed forces. Because
But he was a criminal, so I don't feel that he deserved that flag no matter what.
Hold on. That's not fair, Andy.
That's the way I feel, Randy.
Hold on. I got a super chat. Thank you, Evelyn. I really appreciate that. Much needed. They do not negate the... Andy, my dad got a folded flag. He was also a criminal. But he still served his time in the military, and he got a Purple Heart.
I'm just telling you, that's how I feel about George Floyd. I don't know. I can't help my feelings.
I know, but you have to put your love for officers aside and think about it like that. Because my dad was absolutely a criminal. And hey, Shauna, he served 8 years in the Army. Shauna, welcome to the winner's circle where we're all winners. I've already said that, Taz. So if he was in the Army for 8 years, which I didn't know that, so I looked it up to see if he was.
Who was? George Floyd was?
Yep, if he was in the military, yes.
George Floyd was in the military?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that's why he got a flag. Now we know that. And when you, hey, Jane the Teach, I love your face. Thank you for being here. And thank you for everybody that's typing in chat. I appreciate you so much. And I'm not trying to change your mind because listen, not all cops are good, Andy. Not all cops are bad, but not all cops are good.
I know.
Right. And I had to agree with Schwarkola. I hope I said that close to right. If Floyd's entire drug history is admissible, then Chauvin's 17 excessive force complaints, and his 2017 kneeling on teenager's neck until unconscious is fair game. And that won't get brought up.
Now, I believe that cop should be punished for that, because that was excessive use. And even Tommy said that he should have probably been dismissed on those infractions a long time ago.
Yes. So, yeah. So, you have to look at this as, all right, let's say that George Floyd was your father. He had kids, Andy. Okay, he served his time. Hey, Allie's nurse. Somebody's in here with a name being an asshole. Okay, so I forgot what I was saying because I can't do two. So get off topic. All right. So what he did to the pregnant woman in her stomach, we all know that. But he did his time for that. He paid his debt to society for that. Once you pay your debt to society, you've done all you can do.
I know, but that's just how I feel. I can't help it.
I know, and I can't tell you how to feel. Pelosi gave his family one. I don't know. I understand how you feel, and I accept how you feel. I can't tell you how to feel, but I just think once they do their time, you do the crime, you do the time, and then you're done. And you don't deserve the way he absolutely was. I think him not wanting to get in the car was he knew he was going to jail and he got scared.
I don't really know too much about it other than what I told you. I didn't really see a lot of it. Because I just felt like, I don't think he should have been killed like that, but I just felt like he was a criminal.
Well, maybe he was a criminal and he was doing criminal activity. But you know what? He didn't get a chance to even have a trial. He was murdered.
He was murdered, yes. But I'm just saying, that's just...
Oh, okay. Derek Chauvin spent 8 years in the Army Reserve, not George Floyd. Well, you know what, Jen B? Well, hold on. I looked up today if George Floyd was in the military, and it said yes. So hold on. Let me look. If he wasn't, I don't think he deserved a flag, but they decided.
Now, see, Crazy Daisy that's the way I feel. Crazy Daisy.
I didn't see what she said. George Floyd had an extensive criminal record. He should never have been held up as a martyr or a good guy. However, but listen to me. Do y'all really feel like he was do y'all think that he was made a martyr? Because I don't.
Yes, I feel that he was. Yes, I do feel like they did.
Okay, I don't. And here's why. I think that he was added to another profile of another black man that was murdered by cops. Let's look at the death of Eric Garner, where these cops got off, where they did an illegal chokehold, where he's saying, I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Who's there? I don't know who Eric Garner is.
Eric Garner was in New York. They murdered him. So I don't know. I'm not sure that they took George Floyd and made him into a martyr alone. He just ended up being in a group of people that were murdered by cops. Breonna Taylor, absolutely. Breonna Taylor, Eric Garner, Michael Brown. And Michael Brown, if you had asked me before I saw what I saw, then I would have said, no, Michael Brown. Remy, please look up the autopsy before you say anything else about the fentanyl, okay?
Well, what? Okay, so I don't. Okay, tell me that, Randy. I don't know anything about like what like I didn't know what was in his system, what drugs or anything. Tell me, because I
He
don't
did,
really know that.
he did have fentanyl in his system. You can actually see him take drugs. And here's the thing, Remy. Um, okay, his autopsy, he didn't die of a drug overdose. It literally said that it was homicide.
So the fentanyl and that didn't have anything to do with his death.
No.
See, I didn't know any of. I told you before. The only thing I knew what was I told you on when I was arguing with you yesterday. That's all I knew. I don't really know anything else.
Yeah. A 9-year-old child had to witness and testify. She's 10 now. God bless her. So fact check. The U.S. Capitol flag, which was given to Floyd's family, isn't only for veterans. So it was a U.S. Capitol flag. So I guess thank you for that.
Yeah, I don't think he deserved that. I don't.
Well, you know what? You want to know the sad part is he doesn't even know he got it. Okay. You know why he doesn't know? Because he's dead. And you know why he's dead? Because that asshole put his knee on his neck and murdered him.
Well, I can agree with you that he's dead and he didn't deserve to die. I'm not saying that he didn't. That is not what I'm saying at all. I don't know.
Right. And see, right, Ash. And they didn't put accidental death on his death certificate. They put homicide. They did not put accidental. And that tells me everything I need to know.
Am I allowed to kick people from the chat right now? Because you know what, Daisy? I don't think I asked for your opinion, and I'm up here all the time, so shut it.
Yeah. Let her give her opinion, y'all. It makes for a good debate. It makes for a good debate. Be nice. His shortness of breath. Listen, I don't know if you've ever had a panic attack, but you cannot breathe. You can't.
know I've had them.
Yeah. So if he was having a panic attack, that would also cause shortness of breath. And I would say that anytime you put someone in handcuffs, look, I've been in handcuffs. You get shortness of breath quick because you get scared. Like freak, I'm going to jail. Daisy's opinion is respected. Daisy can give her opinion. Let's just not attack the panel guest.
I am not even a panel guest. I am a panel personal friend.
She's a panel personal friend, yes. She is. Well, I was trying to be, nice. I agree with that. Well, I absolutely would not judge him for being an addict because his girlfriend explained today the exact way he became an addict. So, but drugs didn't kill him. Drugs didn't kill him. The cops did. And
what happened to the other cops that were with him?
I don't know. I think they're going to do their trial separately, it seems like.
Crazy Daisy, honey, I am not talking to you. No, there's another woman in here. Not you, Crazy Daisy.
Okay, Dreamer, did you watch today? He OD'd in March on heroin and then COVID after. No, I'm just catching up on today's. Hey, Hummingbird, how are you? He also, listen, in his autopsy, he still had COVID. But that didn't cause his death.
Thank you, Sin.
I said it. I think we were both talking at the same time, trying to explain to Crazy Daisy. You mean the cops who didn't have their knees on his neck? But they did have their knees on his back. But that one, listen, and people are going to disagree with me here. Shell. There's the one that was holding his legs. And I don't know his name. I'd have to look it up. I'm all right.
Are they getting in trouble too?
Of course, yes.
I saw somebody was having a stream about it all day today, but I can't remember who.
I don't know. It don't matter, Remy. I know what opiates can do. You know why? Because I'm also an addict and I'm in recovery. But here's the thing. Opiates didn't kill him. That cop did. He overdosed, but that didn't kill him. That cop did. Does that make him a martyr? No, it doesn't. But unfortunately, it gave him a face because listen, if you listen to nothing else, I want y'all to go look at that 61-year-old man that testified today. The one that was saying, you can't win. You can't win. Oh, George Floyd asked if he could sit in the front seat because of his fear of claustrophobia. Right. You could look at this man. He said, what education did you have? Me too, Sierra. He said 3rd grade. But you could tell this man's seen some shit. You could tell this man has seen some shit in his life, and he knew what was about to happen. And when he broke down on the stand, you could just tell.
Who was it, Randy?
I don't remember his name, but it's a black man with white glasses. And
I mean, what was he? Why was he testifying?
Because he was a witness to the murder.
Oh.
And it rips out your heart. He saw the murder go down. I'm scared for our country. Like people, yes. Who is covering the whole case? She is fabulous. I guess. Oh, okay. 2.
Who was it? Who covered it?
There's a defense attorney.
Oh.
You know what? And maybe if a frog had wings, it wouldn't bump its ass when it jumped. I agree in following instructions. I do agree with that. I tell my kids, do whatever it takes to get home. If you feel the cops are in the wrong, we'll handle that later. Do what it takes to get home. But they still don't deserve murder. Here's P-Day. Is it you, P-Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I talk so light, so I don't have a voice. But this case, it's just this disturbing case. Like, I was at the casino today, and I was sitting next to a young gentleman that was African American, and he's like, you know what's going to happen if he gets off, and we all know what's going to happen if that cop gets off. And
Yes.
It's wrong for him to get off. But, like, my kids are half Samoan, but they're raised white. But when you look at them, they're not white. You know what I mean? And they still have to look out for when they start driving to you know, they're going to get treated differently. And that's just the way it is for everybody. And it's just so annoying to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just like when the cop put that gun in his face and he was like, already been shot once. It's like, can you show compassion that the guy was scared? You know what I mean? It's just disturbing. Sorry, Andrea, did I cut you off?
Andy?
What?
Did I cut you off,
Oh.
Andrea?
Oh no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't talking.
No, you're right, Sky. You're exactly right. And I love that people have opinions. I love when people have different opinions. It doesn't. Did I get her link? I dropped it for you. No, will you put it in my DMs? I'm dead with the frog saying. You never heard that before? It must be a country thing.
And Andrea, I'm not saying all cops are bad. Not all of them are bad. I've met a ton of cops that were amazing, upstanding officers.
Me too.
But there are some, and Chauvin did have an evil ass look on his face when he was sitting on his neck.
Yeah, he didn't even move.
No, he just looked like he was evil. I mean, just the look on his face, he did not care that he was sitting on his neck. He had his hand in his pocket, just sitting there. And you know, after a while, especially, I don't care what anybody says, but that was George Floyd releasing his bodily fluids at the end, and he still sat on his neck. And
Listen,
so
I
sad.
don't know if that was him releasing his bodily fluids because
Look
if
at his pants. Like what they
What do you
show.
think it was, Randy? I thought it was him releasing.
oh, okay. Well, the reason I say that is because I watched the
The ambulance where they flipped him over. Look at his like area where his hoo-ha is.
okay, I haven't looked at that, and I will look at that because I
You
haven't
can
seen
see
that
it
part.
looks kind of wet. I like had to make my screen big.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean, on my phone. But it looked like it was wet in that general area.
It's Magic Mike. Not Magic Mike, get it, but I'm pumped. Well, the reason I say that is because I saw that big stream. There's a stream if you look
Yeah, that's
underneath.
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well, but if you look, that stream is there before what he's getting put on the ground.
Oh,
that-
okay.
It was after he was on the ground.
I'll go back and watch it again. And I saw that with the second cop's body cam footage came out. The one that says, "Hey, can we roll him on his side?" And Chauvin says, "No, leave him where he's at." And I mean that right there to me proved that Chauvin did not give a shit whether that man lived or
He
died.
died. Yeah.
Because like
Well, I think you're right there. Yes, I
Remy,
agree with you there.
yeah, Remy keeps saying they were taught to do this, they were taught to do that. Why? No, that's to restrain and then roll over. You don't hold someone like that. You know what? Even a 5-year-old would know to not put their knee on someone's neck
Exactly.
and stay there. I don't know. Because they're saying bodily functions. That's when they the reason that's important. Oh, gotcha, Daisy. Thank you for apologizing. She apologized to you, Andy.
Okay, thank you.
Sky, I think he got pissed off. I think you get an officer that's having a bad day
Thank you, Daisy.
that got pissed off, that more than likely was told some shit about George Floyd and decided, you know what? Screw it. I'm going for it. That's how I feel. And I hope not. I mean, I know my mind won't be changed.
But Randy,
Well, why were they even arresting him? I don't even know that, honestly.
counterfeit $20 bill?
Yes.
And
Oh,
who
is that
knows
what
if he knew it was a counterfeit? He could have got it from somebody that gave him change and they didn't know it was counterfeit. And he went to go buy cigarettes with it. Because when I get money, I don't sit there and like examine the money that I get. You know what I mean? I don't like look and see if it has a bluish tint or anything like that. I just take the money and go. So anybody could get handed counterfeit money from a store, from anything. You know?
I agree, Obi.
And he was
Right.
happy. But didn't Chauvin and Floyd run like work together somewhere? Or I could be wrong, but I thought they ran to each other in their past.
Jeff says hi, P-Day.
Hi,
No.
Jeff.
I'm not sure. I think what you're talking about is the guy that was on the side saying, "You're a bum for this. You're a bum." He works out at the same gym as Chauvin.
Okay, well, but I thought before the trial that they were saying that Floyd and Chauvin like knew each other, not like in passing, but I don't know.
They did security together. Oh, I remember hearing that, Amy G. Yes, they did
Andrea,
security
your
together
camera's on.
years ago.
Andrea, your camera's on. Can you tell her? Did you turn it off? I think your camera was on.
Oh, I just have it.
Okay, she dropped. Sorry. I just didn't want her if she didn't want to show her face or show where she's at or whatever.
Yeah, she sometimes just points it at the dark or whatever.
Oh, gotcha.
Security at a club. I thought, Hummingbird, I think you're right. And I had actually forgot about that. Andy.
So maybe he had an issue with him from the past and knowing it was him, said, F you,
Yeah.
Because if you have a good rapport with somebody and the person usually is like, okay, we're going to take baby steps if that's what your problem is. You know what I mean? If you know somebody, but if you have a beef with somebody, then you're not going to give a shit.
Amy, I didn't know that. They worked the same location but didn't know each other. Okay, because I had heard that they worked. I forgot about that, though.
Yeah.
Why do you care? Because I have my own opinion. I said George Floyd did not deserve to die. Obviously, you're another Karen. This is about others' views. Got it? Okay. Got
What's
it.
that about?
I got it.
What was that about? I don't
I'm
have
not
to
sure.
that.
Hey, Ziggy.
Well, I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
go before I
PJ.
start coughing. So
I sometimes just have my
No,
camera on and it slips and I'll show my dogs or something. Thank you.
okay, I just didn't want
that's
you
his
to
wife's brother.
know.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
But I'll be in the chat, Randy.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, thank you for coming up. You didn't have to. Hey, Top Cop, polyester. Oh,
Can we talk about Rich Life? Can we please talk about Rich Life?
Sure. What's he doing?
I don't know. He's been silent.
Well, I haven't, listen, people always think I know what's going on YouTube, and most of the time I just don't. Good night, Jen B.
Well, he was on last night on Abe's, I think, with Lisa Lynn. But he didn't really say too much. But he wasn't on all day yesterday. He wasn't on today, and I am bored.
Well, maybe something's wrong with the RV. He's having
Maybe
to
it
work.
fell apart. Listen, that RV is going to give him nothing but trouble. And you know all those people that are patting him on the back, telling him it's great and he had a good deal, they're not helping him at all. And you know, the people that do try to help him, he just curses out.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. I would never give Rich Life advice. You want to love Lisa Lynn, love her. You want to hate her? Good to see you, Brenda Hart. Hate her. You want to be with her? Be with her. If you don't, don't. Lisa Lynn, if you want to have sex with everybody on the internet, just do it, girl. Do you. Be happy. That's all I got to say about that bunch. I listened to her fight and fuss with everybody, and then all of a sudden she's like, I love you. Okay.
Well, she's the one that gives out all her personal information.
Yeah.
And then gets mad because people want to know. And so does Rich Life, tells all their stories.
Right.
Their sex stories.
And then, okay, so I listened to a clip a while ago, and it said, she's like, why does everybody ask if we had sex? Everybody wants to know.
Yeah, because Rich keeps and she keeps saying they didn't. He says they did.
Oh, Lavender Sunday's here. Hey, Lavender Sunday.
Lavender Sunday's been here. She in the...
No, she's up here.
She on panel.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Lavender Sunday is on panel.
Okay, now don't make fun of me because I'm
getting down. I'm getting down if she's up here.
No, Andy, stay.
I'm just kidding.
I agree with
I'm just kidding, yo.
See this?
I love Lavender Sunday.
Don't make fun of my messy stuff, but I think you can see.
I can't see it because I can only see chat.
Your
so
camera's
if you're showing pictures, I can't see them.
Oh, y'all couldn't see it?
Oh, there it is.
I don't know how to get. I can't get out. I don't know.
Hang on, let me see. I'll turn my camera on. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
This is
I can't see anything, so you're just gonna have to. I'm just gonna have to visualize it.
Andy, it was a big box of papers. Go ahead, Lavender.
Don't make fun of my messy closet, but I worked for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for 25 years. 7 years of that, I was in use of force investigation. Those, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Those are papers that I have to keep for 7 years in case I'm called to trial. They're redacted, so they don't. Hang on, let me get my phone plugged in. So my voice.
Are those the secret papers of Tammy Spearfinder?
Pretty much, they would be if I could get my hands on her. But those are basically 7 years. I have to keep them for 7 years in case I have to go to court on uses of force. So all those folders have redacted information, my personal notes on mostly what we call high impact reports that were what we would call excessive uses of force. So I can see where Andy's coming from. I can see where Paul is coming from. I came out of corrections. I worked my way up from the bottom to the top. I did 5 years on the use of force team. So when I went to use of force, I was very jaded and believed that you had to protect your coworkers. Of
Mhm.
course, that died down. Excuse me. I'm having a lot of trouble breathing. That
I
died
know,
down
I can
really.
hear that. Are you okay?
Yeah, since the COVID, I have a lot of trouble breathing.
Yeah.
But I learned really quick that there's a difference between a good officer and a bad officer. And there are some really bad officers out there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think a lot of what happened to our country, we probably needed reform, but that is probably not the person that we needed to martyr for it. You know what I'm saying? Because he had a really bad history. I'm not saying he should have died for what he did. And I absolutely, the minute I saw the newscast, I said, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And when I knew, I mean, I told my husband, I said, that guy's screwed. That
Yeah.
guy is absolutely screwed. I do feel sorry for his coworkers, though, because even if your coworker's doing something wrong and you try to stop them, a lot of times the rest of your coworkers will turn their back on you. From then on, your life's in danger.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't
Right.
know why I can't read the chat.
And here's it's kind of like, let's just say, because like I said, that one cop, the one that wanted to turn him on his side, his fourth day, it's okay. So he's going to go down with the ship,
Yes.
and for lack of a
That-
better term. So let's put it like this: just like that girl that came in, and that person that came in and said, "Do you still talk to Diane?" Yes, I do. Well, then I'm leaving. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it's kind of. Not that I compare my situation to George Floyd's. That's probably a terrible comparison, but I'm just saying the new officer there, he didn't have shit. I mean, this is fourth day. He's like, let's turn him on the side. But thank you for getting. Are they going to get his side of it? Because the people certainly haven't asked for, other.
But he was correct. Once you gain compliance, you can put someone on their stomach. You absolutely can. You cannot hogtie them because of positional asphyxia. And you try not to keep them on their chest for too long because of positional asphyxia. And many people have died from that. However, if they continue to struggle and they're placing your life or someone else's life in danger, you can keep them in that position until you gain compliance with them. But the minute they gain compliance, you're to roll them to their side. And I don't know about other states, but in Texas, you are not to put your hands, nothing on their neck. You use the palm of your hand to hold their head. You hold their shoulders or their body, but you do not put pressure on someone's neck. I'm sorry.
No, and obviously his knee was on his neck for 9 minutes. 9 minutes.
No. You had plenty of officers there to hold him and get compliance. Now, have we held inmates' throats, like pinch their throats and stuff to try to keep them from swallowing drugs and stuff? Yeah. But normally our suggestion to them is let those effers swallow the drugs. We're going to call an ambulance, eat all the damn drugs you want. We'll call an ambulance to try to save your life. So, too bad, so sad if you choose to swallow them. Some of them want to keep it for evidence, but sometimes it's just not worth that, because once you do that and you block their airway or anything like that, you've just put yourself up for the scrutiny of whoever you have to stand before. And can you justify your actions? That's the big thing. Can you justify? And that's what he's going to stand accused of. Can you justify the amount of force that you utilized? I don't think he can, but that's just my personal opinion.
Do you think he'll take the stand?
If he's smart, he won't. If he's smart, what he'll say is, I can't get a fair trial because everybody in America knows this trial. Everybody in America has judged me. I cannot get a fair trial. But that would just be me, and that's a shitty way out, but that's what I would be crying.
I don't think he'd ever take the stand now.
I don't think you should, but I mean, how's he going to how are you going to justify it? He had extra staff there. How are you going to justify that?
Right.
But I will say, Randy, when they say I can't breathe and they can talk, they can breathe. Because as part of the riot team, we had to have them use force on us. We had to have all kinds of stuff done. And when you truly can't breathe, you cannot say a effing thing. You are dying. You are going to piss on yourself before, and you will. I mean, most of the time they will. I'm sorry, that was an ugly word. Most of the time they will urinate on themselves if they're not allowed to breathe. right before they go unconscious, most of the time.
Oh,
But yeah, that's always, I mean, if they're yelling, if you can get air out to yell, you're breathing. But, but
and
like I said,
well, that that is what I've always heard. If they're talking, they can breathe, but you just see him. I don't know. I mean, was as asphyxiation was his cause of death? Wrong? Am I wrong?
I believe that's what they said. And I mean, you can choke somebody out like that. And there have been lots of cases. I mean, a lot of people get their jollies off on choking people out because normally they choke them out, they'll piss on themselves, they'll come back to, and blah, blah, blah. But it's not right. The thing is, nobody deserves a death sentence for something like that. They have rules they have to follow. They're not the judge, jury, and executioner. Look, I had a guy like hit me so hard one time that I thought our number one rule is not to hit the ground. You have to stay on your feet because once you hit the ground, they will stomp you to death. So at all possible, if somebody hits you or comes at you, you stay on your feet. Excuse me, I'm having trouble breathing. But I had a guy come up and pretty much almost knock me completely out. And the minute what we call the cavalry arrived, he put his hands behind his back and said, "I give up." And of course, they wanted to beat the shit out of me for one, jumping on a woman, and second, for jumping on an officer. But guess what? There's nothing they can do. And then I was having to tell my coworkers, don't touch him, just handcuff him. They're like, fuck that. I'm like, no, none of us are going to lose our job behind this son of a bitch. And I'm going to press free world charges on him. Do not use excessive force on him. You have to, I mean, sometimes some of these people are horrible. You want to, but you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Right. And I think where wrestling with somebody and he's a big guy would get you flustered. But if you're the kind of person that gets flustered in those situations, you're not, and I'm going to say it right now, Chauvin, that wasn't the job for him. If he had 17 infractions against him, that wasn't the job for him. He doesn't need to be a cop. Sometimes just because you want to be an officer doesn't mean you should be an officer.
But
Honest to God, I want to be a nurse, but blood makes me sick. So guess what?
You can't be a nurse.
I can't be a nurse. I pass out.
Most of that is on his supervisors, though, because, and this is an argument we used to have with wardens all the time, you can make or break your employee. If that employee already shows those type of tendencies, you nip it in the bud. And if you can't nip it in the bud, then you get rid of them.
Yeah.
So if he already had a history of that, and he does from what I understand, that falls back on his, I don't know if he has IAD or we have OIG and all that. That would have been his supervisor's job to pull the reins on him. And if he didn't want to comply with the rules and regulations, then terminate him.
Oh, boop. Amazing how many people want, I'm not going to yours, a man to go to jail for murder who didn't commit murder. This is the Salem witch trials all over again. Are you trolling, Boop? You really think that the officer didn't commit murder?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Well, no, I had you on mute because I had to pee so bad.
Oh, he was absolutely not a threat, Obi, at all. I don't think he was ever a threat to them. I don't think he ever looked at maybe the size of him. They were like, whoa. But I don't think that he ever moved in any type of threatening way towards them. Now, they said you're trying to, turn sideways. But I thought maybe he was trying to get in his pocket to get something. Well, obviously he had something in his pocket. They pulled it out. But that was it. I don't think that he did anything that looked intimidating, threatening. They absolutely had no reason other than he did wrestle a little bit getting in the car. My husband, you could still be a nurse. Not every nurse job deals with bodily fluids. Well, but you have to pass classes that deal with bodily fluids. Trust me, Lynn, I've looked into it, sis.
Randy, I can't do throw up. So when we would have to deal with like putting someone's teeth in or something, I would switch duties with another nurse because I can't do spit or throw up.
So if I
give me someone's heart in my hand, I'm good.
See, no, I'm not good. But I can't. Yes, and he was begging. Anyone that was begging, if you have a heart of any kind, if you don't have compassion, oh, I don't care what job you have to have compassion. And I just feel
Well,
like
that
officer-
that officer probably had something out. If he knew him personally, then he probably had something out for him to begin with, I think.
that, or yeah, we'll find out. It'll come out in this trial, and I can't wait for it to all come out. I personally think that man is a piece of shit that took another man's life.
Well, I don't know. I agree with you.
Well, and the thing is, dirty officers make what people judge every officer the same. What they don't realize is a dirty officer puts good cops in twice as much danger. Twice as much danger.
Yep.
He didn't overdose though, Boop. You got to look at neither one of the autopsies that came back said that he overdosed. Did he have drugs in his system? Yes, but he didn't die from an overdose. He died from asphyxiation.
I think in a lot of states, you can actually, if you know the person's name and date of birth, you can actually look up their basic autopsy information. I know when I worked for the state, we would have to look up autopsies quite a bit when we had offenders die on our facilities.
I'm sure they'll have one during the trial too. You know, they'll have the person that done the autopsy come in and testify. They always do. But Boop, let me remind everyone in here that I heard at least 2 times, 2 of the officers, and I think one was Chauvin and the other one was the other guy up front, say, "Don't do drugs, kids." Okay, asshole, where was your Narcan? If you thought he was overdosing and you thought he was on drugs, why didn't you Narcan his ass? Because that's what officers are trained to do. What they're trained to do is A, not kill people, B, keep them alive, and 3, they all carry Narcan now. Why not Narcan him if they thought he was overdosing? And Narcan, most of the time, will bring you right out of it, even if it's fentanyl, if it's done fast enough. So, Boop, I'm sorry. Even if he died of an overdose, he died of an overdose while he was being choked out by an officer who had Narcan in his pocket or his car. I would hate to be alive during the witch trials with you. And yes, one of the autopsies said he overdosed. Then why didn't they Narcan him? He didn't down a baggie. He downed 2 pills. You can see them in his mouth. It wasn't a baggie. It was 2 pills that were laced with fentanyl. You can see it. They zoom in on his tongue.
Well, I mean, they should. I know, like in the state of Texas, like as many years of experience as I have actually working in the job title in the field of use of force, I qualify as an expert witness. Most states have rules, and they'll have an expert witness on use of force on that. In that trial, they would have to. So, I mean, they'll be versed in every policy, every procedure, everything. Mm-hmm. But you know, there's an old saying: you want to be carried by 6 or judged by 12. That's a decision you have to make, and he made the decision to be judged by 12. So,
yeah.
Well, if you won't make it long in jail, if they do put him in jail, because cops normally don't. I mean, he'll have a target on his back from the beginning.
Well, they'll probably isolate him.
What state is that? Since I had the COVID, I don't remember stuff real good. What state is he?
Minnesota?
Minnesota.
I believe.
Yeah, they'll probably put him in protected custody.
You don't convict a man for not being a doctor. Okay, all right, but when it turns out I'm right, I'll take your apology in way of chocolate. I'll give you my address.
I mean, this is just a debate, but they'll have an expert witness that'll look at all. Likely retain a professional witness to come in and look at it.
Dr. Sarah Weck. What's his name? Dr. Sarah Weck.
I love him.
Me too.
Get him up there. He'll solve it all. I know he didn't overdose. I mean, it shows him take the 2 pills. And a lot of people take their own dose.
What makes me mad about this? What makes me mad about this trial is I have seen so many times like somebody trying to walk away that doesn't have a weapon, that doesn't have anything. Like, I can't even remember the name of the guy's name, but the one officer that shot that guy like 8 times in the back who was walking away from him. That's the kind of stuff that I'm saying, why didn't it come to the forefront with that type of thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Way ahead of time.
Yes.
Because, but
Yeah.
it's sad. Anyway, you look at it, the people that are suffering are the family members and the people that love both of these people on both sides,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think, Bashful of the Round Table, what they said is, he bought pills off the street. And, right now that's just absolutely not safe. We have so many overdoses around here due to the fentanyl laced pills. And you never know if you're going to get one that's got a lot of fentanyl or just a little fentanyl. And so it's just a chance that people are, sadly, if you're an addict, you're willing to take, and it's terrible. But
now they're looking for the drug dealers and charging them with homicide.
And they should be. They should absolutely be.
Yep.
But here's what. I'm going to stand behind my statement. If it comes out that he overdosed while they're sitting there saying, "Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs," Narcan his ass for safe measure. You know what? It's not going to hurt him. They didn't even use the Narcan. They didn't use anything but their knees.
Well, I'm sure that'll be brought up too if they find out that he overdosed. I'm sure that will be asked. Why didn't they use Narcan?
Where was the intent? The intent was the 9 minutes that the intent was the 9 minutes that he had his knee on his neck. That was the intent. Hold him there for a few minutes. They refused to roll him over. They refused. You finally see one person check his pulse. You don't see Chauvin even look back. Well, he may have looked back, but they don't show it yet. He didn't check anything on him. Then one of the cops got in the ambulance and done chest compressions. Why didn't they do any chest compressions before then?
Maybe they were afraid of that cop.
Yeah.
And that is a bad position to be in. I can tell you that. It's a bad position to have to override one of your coworkers. It really is. It's a bad position.
Was he a supervisor? Was he ahead above them?
It doesn't matter if he was actually breaking policy or something. You can break, even if he gave them an order to stand down. You can violate an unlawful order.
I realize that, but maybe they were afraid to, especially if that kid was just started the job.
Well, you're afraid anyway. I mean, like even us, and even inside a prison, you go against one of your officers. It's kind of like on YouTube, where the way, how they jump on everybody. Sometimes people don't even take the time to find out what's true. They just say, "Oh, officer so-and-so snitched on officer so-and-so or officer so," and then you got a bad jacket, even though, and on the streets, to be honest, when people turn their back on you, you could die, I can see how a police officer would be scared. We just had a police officer here this week who did a stranded motorist report and with a DPS officer and was shot dead by a habitual criminal so I understand why some of them are scared for their lives, but this wasn't the case, But
I don't want you to be mistaken. I appreciate anybody that's willing to go against the grain and say, "You know what? I believe this," because I think we're all entitled to believe whatever we want. Like Boop Boop doesn't think this officer did anything wrong, and that's okay. It's okay. Hey, Susan, yay! I love you.
Then why were you mean to me? Then why were you so mean to me last night when I did that? You were hurt my feelings.
I said what I said.
Hurt my feelings.
You did I?
No.
Oh, okay. I would say, you know what? I truly apologize if I hurt your feelings. What I said to you was George Floyd isn't the one on trial. Ex-officer Chauvin is. Because people are wanting to put George Floyd on trial, and this isn't his trial. He's done his time.
Hey, Susan.
And then now his kids his family, they're doing a life sentence because
It's
they're
just
going
hard to. It's just hard to think that way, you know. I don't know. It's just hard sometimes,
I
you
understand
know.
that.
Especially, just I have a soft spot for military and the staters, you know. You know.
Oh, I get it, Andy. My thing used to be like, because sometimes I mean, I honestly had to have a couple of my friends fired, friends that I knew from way back, and they lost their jobs, lost homes, lost their one of them lost his wife because of it. But I had to do my job, and what the person did was wrong. And the first thing I did is I called him and told him, I'm turning you in to internal affairs. And he was like, "Oh, you can't do that, dog." And I'm like, "I am. You blinded that guy. You fucking blinded that guy over nothing." And you fucking made me have to be friendly. You made me have to flip to the other side. So fuck you.
Yeah, that would be hard.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was probably one of the hardest things about my job is having walked in their footsteps and now having to judge them. And they would say, "Oh," I had one major who used to always tell me, "Oh, you armchair quarterback, you armchair quarterback." So one day I printed out my use of force record and I told him, "Bitch, I pulled you up. You have 3. I have 32. Fuck you." And then he
Yeah.
was like, "Well, I didn't mean it that way." And I was like, "I'm not an armchair quarterback. I did 5 years on the riot team. I know what the fuck a use of force is. I did 7 years investigating." And wrong is wrong and right is right. And it's hard to swallow sometimes because it's people that you've sworn to have their back, but sometimes you can't have their back because they don't have your back when they're placing you in that type of position.
Exactly. Well, here's the thing, Boop Boop. That's why he is not up for murder 1 charge. They're not saying he premeditated it. That's why he's charged with what, 2 and 3. But hold on, let me read this article and tell me what you think about this, everybody. And Boop Boop. A man who worked at the same club with George Floyd and Derek Chauvin previously told CBS the two had bumped heads. He changed his story Wednesday, saying he had mistaken Floyd for another unnamed African-American employee. Okay, so maybe they didn't. David Penny tells CBS News he worked at the same club where Chauvin and Floyd were employed to provide part-time security. Chauvin is the former police officer who is charged in Floyd's death. So at first it was said they did bump heads.
See, so he might have had it out for him to begin with for some reason. And he's an opportunity. I don't know. And maybe he hated him that much and figured he was the police officer, he could get away with it.
And that may be why, but let me say this. As somebody who has been on the wrong side of the law, I have rode with stuff in my pockets that I shouldn't have back in the day. I still get nervous when I get pulled over by a cop. I'm not doing anything that would get me arrested. I'm not. But you still get nervous. And that may have been why that's true, but that may be why George Floyd acted the way. We know he was on something. He was definitely on drugs. But that's not a murder sentence. I'm sorry, it's not.
I get nervous when I get pulled over and I know I didn't do anything.
I start thinking of excuses like I was going to pee on myself. I think I'm having a heart attack. And then they'll go on past me and I'll be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
I break out into a cold sweat and it's terrible.
Well, the thing is, like I said, there's going to be expert witnesses, and there's going to be people that know the law enforcement side, every bit of their training, everything that they were taught. So, I mean, they'll get all those perspectives. So the truth will come out.
Yes.
But the thing with anybody, even you and I, Texas has the stand your ground law. That's all right. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to justify your actions. That's what it's going to come down to. Can he justify his actions?
I don't think he can. I just don't think he can. I can't. I think this is such a good trial that I almost wish. I don't almost. I wish I didn't even have to go to work and catch up at the end of the day, because today I don't even know if I know his girlfriend was on. I got to see her for the prosecutor, but I haven't. I don't know. Did the defense question her? Does anybody know?
I don't know. I didn't watch any of it. And I just remembered who was streaming it all day, but I'm not going to say.
Okay.
In fact, I can't even. This isn't Texas, and it's not a stand your ground case. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that even in that situation, even though that's the law, you still would have to justify your actions. Even if you were a homeowner or anything involved in a situation where you killed somebody, you would still have to justify your actions. Don't try to twist my words, Kimberly.
Oh, no, she was just giving examples of, like, she's just saying where she lives, that's what it is. She wasn't saying that.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
what
she's coming
happened.
at you. I don't think, no, barely sweetie pie. She wouldn't come at you. Carrot Top, I don't disagree that drugs played a factor because we can't listen on drugs. You don't make great decisions, obviously.
Okay, if I took it wrong, Kimberly, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's hard not to take. You don't know what to take wrong or how they're saying.
No, it is like when you're reading chat. Sometimes they wouldn't even be talking to you. They'll be talking to somebody else, and you'll be like, "What did you just say?"
Yeah.
They weren't even talking. They're talking to like 3 people above you. Oop, oop, oop. My bad.
That cop was named Scott. And I know what y'all are talking about. The guy was walking away, but if you look, Michael Brown was walking away. That cop got off. Eric Garner, they choked him out. That cop got off. I watched that whole. I'm just making comments out loud, not addressing anyone in particular. I love Obi.
The sad thing is that it turned our country against so many of us against one another, and that is a hard thing. We need reform. We do need reform, but we don't need to fight and kill one another over it. You know.
I agree. I wish that everybody could like disagree, have a discussion, and respect the fact that we disagree. Like, and see, and I knew when I wrote what I wrote to Andy last night, I said he's not on trial, ex-officer Chauvin is. I thought to myself, is this going to sound like I'm saying he's not on trial? You know, I didn't mean
yes, and that's how I heard it in my head, and I was like, "Well, screw you."
No, I was at work. And I was chill. I'm like, hold on, and that's why I text you. I'm like, hey, you want to come on panel? And you're like, no, you be
You were like, I'll fight you on piano.
I didn't say
and
that.
And then you'll go to Alcatraz. That's what you said. You said, I'll fight you on piano, and then I'm sending you to Alcatraz. That's your exact words. I will prove it right now. I'm pulling up
panel. Meet me on panel, asshole.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kimberly. I've had a bad day. Somebody triggered me first thing this morning, so I've had a bad day.
Yeah, she did get triggered.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take it out on you. I just took it wrong.
Well, I took a pregnancy test this morning.
Is your husband dead?
Positive.
You know that's a terrible April Fool's joke.
Oh.
No, shut up, Randy, because she believes me. You got to ruin my whole day now.
No, that's it.
Hey, one of my coworkers, all her last son was graduating college in 1 week. And there were 4 of us females working in SEG together. And she was all upset, and she's normally really nice. And we used to joke because I would be the only white girl, and they used to pick on me and call me their token girl and stuff. And we would joke around. They would say, you know what I mean. So she says, I'm pregnant. And we all just stopped and looked, and we're like thinking she's jacking with us. And then she started crying, and we started consoling her. And the first thing she said to us was, I got 3 boys. I ain't never had a girl. My girl's going to have nappy hair. You better quit laughing at me, white girl, before I tie your pigtails in knots. And she was serious. She was going on 50 years old and was pregnant, and her oldest son was fixing to graduate and go to college.
Oh my God.
Oh.
She probably.
I don't even have the parts anymore. I had a hysterectomy, so I was just. Well, you know what I did to my future daughter-in-law? which, by the way, happens at the 24th of April. My son's getting married. I'm headed to California next week. Well,
Oh,
anyway.
wow. That's exciting.
It is.
I told her, I texted her, and I'm like, well, I just changed my flight. I'm gonna stay until May 10th. I thought I would just stay for an entire month because the weather here in PA is really crappy and I can't handle it. And she texted me back a little bit later. She's like, oh, okay, that's fine. And I said to her, you were just texting 911 to Nathan, weren't you? Saying, you better be not coming here for a month. I'm like, April Fools. She's like, I knew you were kidding. I don't think she did know I was kidding. She was probably in a panic.
I would literally have a heart attack. I would divorce my husband and leave the kid with him. I could
Yeah,
not do it again. My kids are grown. I'm
yeah.
done. I'm done. I'd be
Oh,
like,
me
we're getting
too.
divorced and you're getting custody. Bye. See you later.
Well, I can't have any more, but I'm 51. I'm going to be 51, so there's no chance of it anyway. But I had a hysterectomy when I was 28. So, yeah, that was...
Yeah, I had a hysterectomy at 31, I think I was. So, no
Well,
chance in it for me.
Randy blew it. I could have played that for another 5 minutes.
Well, they beg people to not pull that April Fool's Day. They beg people to not do that because, there's so many people that want babies.
I did it anyways.
I know, you rebel, you.
I'm a rebel. That's what I told you last night. I'm a rebel.
You are.
I am.
So what do y'all think about, before we go, about the James Charles situation?
I don't even know who that is, so what is it?
I don't either.
What? James Charles is a beauty influencer. And let me see his...
Oh.
And
I don't...
let's see. He's really young, but... Let's see. Is he even 21? He's 21. And he's put out a video today. Another I'm sorry video, because he keeps trying to hook up and flirting
Desiree,
with
yes.
16-year-old boys.
Oh, I didn't know anything about that.
I
Yeah.
heard what Desiree was saying. I've heard that. I've been hearing that for a while now.
What'd she say? I didn't see. I wasn't
James Charles is a predator. I'm starting to really think that he's like, I just didn't realize that people, look at fame and what? They do. And he's so stupid. He should know these boys are going to let it out. Watch H3's reaction to James Charles. Sorry. I love H3. I love Keemstar. Keemstar and H3 go at it, but I love Keemstar.
They've been saying that about
is not pregnant.
I keep forgetting his name is James Charles, but yeah, they've been saying that about him for a pretty good while now. That came out. He's the one that does the makeup with the short brown hair and stuff. Yeah, now I know who you're talking about.
See, I didn't ever heard of him.
He does makeup awesome, but yeah, I've heard a lot of really negative stuff.
He's going to lose everything. He had a lot of endorsements. And didn't he lose CoverGirl over the last one, after the last scandal?
See, I never heard anything like that. Never heard that. I don't know who he is.
You spend all your day in chicken in a can.
Listen, I'm on TikTok now, so don't even. I've moved along to TikTok.
I'm on TikTok now.
Hey, did you see where that one TikToker was killed?
No.
She always did TikToks, and that windstorm that we had on Friday, she was driving in a car, or a tree landed on her car.
Who was it?
She was killed instantly. Roe. I can't remember the whole entire. Next time I see one on TikTok, I'll send it to you.
Princess, you're going to have to turn your camera on before I let you up. I'm sorry, but I don't know who you are.
I've been hooked on that. I don't know their names, but it's the dad with the little girl, and they'll be sitting in the car, and she does all the singing and dancing. She looks like she's about 3, and the dad always have that, oh, God, look on his face.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I kid you not, every time I'm having a bad day or a bad moment, I can put them on, and it just makes me feel better.
Randy, guess who just went live? Guess who just went live? God bless America.
You're not supposed, absolutely not supposed to advertise it on someone else's panel. But is it Rich Life?
I didn't say who. You did.
I didn't say who. I asked a question.
Oh, but I didn't even say who. You're the one that said who.
My views aren't suffering. Listen, this is absolutely what I expect when I'm not doing drama. When you're not doing drama and the people that show up, there's your people.
Why? Who? How many you got in here?
I'm down to 178 now. But about
I didn't say it. You did. Nobody would have known who I was talking about.
I'm about to go anyway. But
I thought you were letting somebody else up here.
well, they wouldn't cam up. It was some part. I was probably about to get porned.
There was another one on there I watched. This little girl and her uncle is always on with her. And oh my God, they are the cutest things. And then I like these two cats that like their voices are dubbed in. Oh my gosh, I love those ones.
I'm gonna have to look that up because I've been trying to stay away from drama as much as I can, honestly.
I get on that
Me too.
TikTok and you're just on there for hours.
Yeah, I know.
Me
If you
and
ever
send
get
them
on
to each
there,
other.
me and B
Me
was
and
just
B are always sending them. There's another one that I don't know if she's Indian or not. Sometimes she'll have that red dot on her.
yes, I love her. She's like, no, don't do that.
Oh
Don't do
my,
that.
she's so, oh my God, I love her. Yeah,
Don't
there's a
do
lot
that.
of,
Why do you do that? B sent me one on that girl. She put a band behind her head and flipped her legs back behind her head, and
yeah, and Jim, why did I say Jim?
because that's
B-Dubs was
B-Dub said,
making
get your rubber
fun.
band and go for it.
Yeah, and B-Dubs was making some kind of comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that one too. I did it after she sent it to me.
Do I need to worry? Well, I'm not nary a bit worried, dogs. Not nary a bit.
For what?
About the scheme that I pulled off.
You pulled off with D and W. You stole hundreds of that. Why didn't Randall?
I don't know why I held out.
This is the first time I'm hearing that you stole any kind of money. That's the first time I've heard that ever.
Same.
Is this a new scandal in the D and W?
I noticed though, anytime everybody tries to get away from the drama, people have to try to bring it back. And I think it's been fun, like having movie nights and trivia and different things like that. They don't get as many views, but I think they would start getting more views as people. And then the ones that want, because the drama's not drama anymore. It's just disgusting. It's disgusting.
Right.
I've seen Shannon in here tonight because I think she cheats on those trivia nights because I answered several times that I never got it. I think she's a cheater.
Were you in there that night? I think they were delaying my shit on purpose because I was correct.
Me too. I think it's corrupt.
I know.
I think it's corrupt.
I think she knows I'm saving up for a boob job and didn't want to give me the money.
Same.
Just doesn't. She's a hater. She doesn't want me to have my new boobs.
Love you,
okay.
Well,
I didn't know any of the Walking Dead. I didn't know any of them, but when she was doing the other one, I knew a couple. But I don't type fast enough.
I don't either, and I was trying to do talk text, and it evidently doesn't understand redneck and some of the stuff it was trying to say. I was like, oh no, yeah. delete. I'm gonna get kicked out of. I'm gonna get my wrench taken away. But yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. She's doing she's not doing trivia this week, but she's gonna do that one case. Was it the
Amityville? But what was that we played a while back on Randy's stream that was so fun? What was that called? Those couple nights that we did that
when we did the debates.
That was so much fun.
What was it?
We definitely need to do a debate night.
Yes, that was so much. I laughed so hard that night.
Where was I?
Was that when you were going to your son's for something, maybe?
Oh, probably, because that's when all the good stuff happens.
Yeah, because you weren't around for like a little while. But that was fun. That actually was really fun.
Fun. I've said hi twice.
Oh, brother.
Hello, Fod. Hello. Well, yeah, you're right. The non-drama doesn't get as many views, but you sure do sleep better.
Yes.
It's just, to me, it's just not worth it. Like sometimes there's Emerald Girl, my girl.
When it affects your personal life, it is not
Mhm.
worth it. And when
Yeah.
you're going into people's personal lives, it is not worth it. Because I'm going to tell you, this girl will step up on you and beat the brakes off you. So I just ain't in it to play those kind of games because I know my temper and I got a lawyer. I just don't have, I don't have the temperament for that kind of crap. It's just, and how do you defend yourself when people are lying about you? You can't defend a lie. I mean, you can provide all the truth in the world, but when somebody's just making up lies just to make them up, what you prove it's not true, and then they're like, "Oh, so," and meanwhile they put you through all that stress.
Right.
You know, it's
Exactly. And exactly. And you try to leave that stuff alone and you don't talk about them, and then they get bored and they come right back at you with a vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, nobody mentions them for the longest time. You just can't win in those situations.
And that's just it. I mean, call me out on my bullshit. That's fine. But don't make up lies about me. That's, But in my real, I don't know why I let it bother me on here because in my real world, I've never cared if you lie about me because the way I look at it is if you're lying about me and somebody believes it, they probably didn't like me anyway. The people who know me know who I am and aren't going to believe what you're saying if it's a lie anyway.
Right.
But on
Right.
here, for some reason, you feel like you need to justify yourself because these people
Mhm.
don't really know you. They only see a small glimpse of you. And it's just kind of a different scenario. My friends make fun of me because I'm on here because I'm such a drama free person in my life. If you fuck with me, I cut you loose. I don't play.
Yeah, but
I
you
just cut
don't really,
loose.
you don't really do any drama. Like I see you in chats and stuff, but you don't really cause any drama or all up in the drama, except for maybe a certain couple times. But I never see you really like in the middle of it or anything.
I try to remember because where I worked and I've seen the good and bad in both people, there by the grace of God go I. One day you could be that person. You could be in that person's situation. But I will say there's some people on here that I'm like, oh fuck no, I'm never gonna be like that. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't keep my mouth shut, and then I get blocked from the chat, and then I'm screwed. Sometimes I have to say something.
I have been there and I've said stuff with the knowledge I'm about to get blocked. And then I'm shocked if I don't. But, most of the time I don't say anything. I say something nice just so I could stay.
I was
Oh,
listening to y'all listen to Uber the other day, Uber Goober, and then I was like when she was talking about that, don't entertain it. You don't let it be there and stuff. And she's
yeah,
right. She's right, but it's so hard to remember that she's right when
Yes,
you're in the
yes.
moment.
And
absolutely.
then I don't like when people are like, there's so much going on in the world and you're involved in this drama. Well, just because there's a lot going on in the world and in your life, it's like YouTube. You come there to like escape what's going on in the real world unless you're like really up in it, like, some of the bigger like people that we don't watch. Like they're like that I think they have a lot of hate. But like as for some of the ones like on our level here, it's pretty much just for just kept on YouTube and just kind of for entertainment, Do you know what I
That's
mean?
how it should be. Like I'd be lying if I said, "Oh, I'm not going to do drama," because I mean, I've let it be known. I love true crime, but I also love me some drama. But I'm not going to defend myself. If y'all want to think that I stole thousands, think it. I don't give a shit. Because at the end of the day, the people that think that about me, they don't know me. If you want to think I'm a bully, think it. You obviously didn't get to know me. I have given as good as I've got. I'll say that. But I've never given it without somebody starting the bullshit. But
I just don't think it should ever be taken to real life, this
it
drama,
shouldn't be.
the YouTube stuff.
No, and calling people's families
Yeah.
and
Right.
That's
No.
just, I can, I mean, I can say this now because it's my brother and I were both worked for the prison system for a long time, and my brother actually got terminated for excessive use of force, and they were trying to sue him, but his force was actually justified when it all finished getting investigated and everything. But the guy kept trying to sue, and the attorney kept calling and harassing my grandmother. Well, my brother was in the military. So if you have family members in the military, you already know they belong to the military. Once you sign that dotted line, you don't belong to yourself anymore. So my family would always tell him, contact, this is where he's at, this is where he's stationed, contact him. And the lawyer kept calling, and she actually kept harassing my grandmother. My grandmother actually had a heart attack and died.
Oh my God.
And she died with the phone receiver in her hand. And when we did the phone check for the number she was talking to, it was Yolanda fucking Torres, inmate attorney by law. Yes.
Were you able to press any charges or no?
We filed charges with her on the board, and she came to the unit one time, and they had to lock me in a holding cell because I was gonna beat her ass.
Yeah, see, that's the way I would be. And so I don't agree with people calling children and youth and that for people on YouTube unless I think it's just, well, if it's not just me, but remember that one, Randy, that she was hitting her little boy or something, and then she deleted her channel.
Karen Ledbetter.
Who was it?
Karen Ledbetter.
Yeah. And then there was another one who called on another YouTuber, Randy, you know who I'm talking about. And I think that was justified, even though her daughter was a teenager. I feel that was justified too, because of what the situation was in that the mother was having a psychotic break.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just never know. Like my grandmother, maybe she would have had a heart attack anyway, but we had already had to take her several times when that attorney called. She got so upset we had to take her to the hospital and stuff. And so it's just a big coincidence that she has a massive heart attack. She's still holding the phone, and guess who the phone was? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What if you called somebody, like when they called that person's grandfather and they freaking had a heart attack from it or something?
Right.
Good God.
Right.
Yeah, I don't believe. And people even off of YouTube in real life make those calls if they're mad or something. That's not right, because that you could destroy a family, but all because you're mad. Like
Right.
those kids could be removed from the home for no reason. And they go into foster care. It's not like they're going to live a great life or anything. They're going into foster care.
Exactly.
Hey, Sin, I'm going to say something to Sin. No, I'm not, but I can get back on it. But I'm going to tell you what, when you told me that, I went to my doctor because that was when I never would test negative and I was having trouble breathing. And he put me on what you told me to ask him for. And believe it or not, I got better. I got 100 times better. I thank you so much for suggesting that. Because when I told the doctor, they were at a loss because they didn't know a lot about COVID and stuff. So it helped me a lot. I appreciate it. Sorry, guys. Never got to tell her that.
Oh, she wanted you to get on the albuterol?
Well, she had it, and I couldn't breathe, and I still kept having all these problems, and they were trying all this different stuff, and she told me what she had done and that it helped her. So I told them, and they said they were willing to try anything. So they did it, and I mean, it was like magical. I just I got where I could breathe.
I've been on that when I had bronchitis really bad. I don't know, a year or so ago. That's what they put me on, and it does help.
It helped me tremendously, which I still have trouble breathing. I still have oxygen that I get on from time to time, but it's getting better, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
Did you get a shot?
I got a shot, and I got sick as a dog. I felt fine. I woke up the next morning, 103 fever. I couldn't hardly move. I get my next shot on the 5th, and I'm kind of scared, but I'm going to be prepared. Diesel Cat was telling me what they told her to do and everything. And so I've got my Tylenol. I'm going to do exactly what she had suggested I do. And let's keep fingers crossed it works.
Yeah, one of my best friends just got hers last Saturday, I think, and she said, and she had COVID. She was really sick, and right before Christmas, and she said she was so sick. Her temperature was like, it was pretty high. It was like 103.7 or something. And she said she wasn't that sick with COVID, and
I
she
had
was
the
really sick with COVID. But she
where
said it only lasted like 24 to 48 hours. I forget which one she said, but it
my
didn't last like that long.
2 days is what my fever and my aches lasted, and then another 2 days of like nausea and vomiting and stuff. I had the Pfizer vaccine. And
I
I'm
think
the
she had
only
the other
freaking
one.
person that had a reaction. I know all these people that have got it. And even my brother had COVID with me. Nobody got sick. And I really thought people told me when they got the shot, they felt better. So I was very optimistic. And I got the shot and I was like, I feel better. I feel better. And then, buddy, I woke up the next morning and my kids were out of town. So I was house sitting. So I couldn't even like be at home. I was miserable.
Oh.
Well, one of the nurses I used to work with, she got hers. Yeah, I don't know which one she got, and she said she was so sick she was crawling to the bathroom.
Well, you know how sometimes you'll have the flu so bad your feet, the bottom of your feet will hurt? That's how I was. Like even the bottom of my feet, when I would put them on the ground, I was just like almost in. And luckily, like a lot of my family is in medical and stuff, so they were like, do this, do that, and checking on me and stuff. But it was horrible. I did not feel that bad when I had the COVID. I was very sick, but it was mostly respiratory, like not being able to breathe and stuff. I never ran a fever with COVID, not one time. But this was very short lived, but very painful.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I'm getting one or not. Did you get one, Randy?
Not yet, but I will.
I don't know if I'm doing it or not.
And then I have one of my best friends since we were 8 years old. We've been friends. She believes the conspiracy theories of it changes your DNA and da 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 da.
Well,
So
that's why Krista isn't getting one, and neither. I need to stop saying real names, and neither is my daughter-in-law.
If I were young, I would be scared. If I were still going to have kids and stuff, I think I'd
Yeah.
be scared. But I'm like old on the last little leg of it, so I'm like, oh, well, whatever, fuck it. Whatever. Change my DNA. Shit, my DNA sucked to begin with.
I know, right?
That's why I need a boob job. I got some crappy DNA.
Listen,
Or
I can give you
genetics or
some of
whatever.
mine. I can lend you some of mine. Well, I have this gown I have to get into, right? And I am on a steroid because I have fibro and osteoarthritis, and I'm in a lot of pain, and they're trying to ease my pain enough for this wedding. So those put a lot of weight on you. So I don't even know if I'm going to get into my damn gown.
No.
No.
I got one of those shaper things. Let me tell you, they do not turn you into a size 2. So don't buy one if that's what you're expecting, because it doesn't work. That is not what it does.
My cousin, I call her Buford. We have nicknames that we grew up with. My name is Maynard. My cousin's name is Buford. And Buford has like always worked out her whole life. She's like damn near 6 foot tall. Like she looks like a cross between Christy Brinkley and Brooke Shields. If you were to combine them, that's what she looked like when we were growing up. And she goes to this real expensive cosmetic doctor and all this. So she wanted me to go to talk to him about hormone therapy to see if that would help me feel better, because after the COVID, it's kind of changed like so much stuff about me. Even the way my body is shaped and stuff. I think because I lost so much muscle mass when I had it. And girl, when we were walking up to that plastic surgeon's office, I swear to God, I felt like I was in a Real Housewives commercial. These chicks are like walking down the hallway with their high heels and their little short dresses, and everybody's face was frozen. And did you know you know what a vajayjay is, right?
Mhm.
Do you know? Do you know that they got shots that they give your vajayjay to make your lettuce go back into your taco?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I would rather just let mine out. Thanks.
I was
Thanks.
they were talking and bringing us through all these rooms, and I was like, lettuce and taco. I'm not understanding.
Oh
And they
my
showed me a
God.
picture, and I was like, well, I haven't looked at my taco in a really long time, so I'll ask my husband if he has a problem with the lettuce and the taco.
Oh my gosh. Well, my daughter-in-law to be is from California, and they're all skinny and in place all the time, you know. Well, they all for her bridal or her what bachelorette party, they all got Botox to their
Yes.
lips and their forehead and stuff.
Oh,
Jeez, where I'm from, you have a blow up penis and you go from bar to bar hopping.
yeah.
My oldest daughter, her friends she's in the medical field. Most of her friends are doctors, and they will do these parties where they do Botox.
Yep.
And like one of her friends is opening a clinic or whatever, and they do like cold sculpting, and they're always telling her, tell your mom to come. We need an older person to work on. And I'm like, nope, nope. And then my husband is so funny, like because he's like, I'll buy you new boobs, I'll buy you a new tummy, but you are not touching your face. And I'm like, but my face is all wrinkle. He was like, I love your wrinkle face, I do not want you to touch your face. I'll pay for anything you want. You can even put your lettuce back in your taco if you want, but I am not paying for you to do nothing to your face.
That's
You
right,
should
Jeffrey. Hold on.
You should see my son's lips. They look like what women pay hundreds of dollars for. They're real big and plump. They're like his dad's, big and plump. My daughter's real jealous of them because she's got a little bit of them, but not like he does.
My hubby is my taco. I'm telling you, I never even heard of that before. And now they got this thing. They don't even have to touch your stomach anymore. They have this thing that they like. It makes a light across your stomach, but it doesn't even touch.
Yeah.
And it makes it shrink or does away with fat cells. But I'm like, correct me if I'm wrong on this. You only have so many, but even if you get rid of some, can't the others like expand and just get big? So like you're defeating the whole purpose if you're not like working out and keeping it all off.
Yeah, you have to. That's like when you have that Wapian surgery or the gastric bypass surgery. You can't just get that and think you're going to lose weight. You have to follow a diet. You have to exercise. You can't just, think you're just going to.
I had that ab shocker. That thing will make you get up and take notice. Have you ever had that ab shocker belt? That effer will shock the living. Don't have to go pee when you use that thing because it'll make you get somewhere.
Oh, no, but I remember that thing. But you should be able to buy those fat reducer electric things at Walmart.
That belt? But
you said that now, the doctors can just run it over and eat your fat.
Yeah,
I would like to buy those. I would totally. I don't care what it cost. I would buy one of those.
It was. Wait, I got a price list somewhere. I'll have to find it and I'll send you a copy of the price list.
Okay,
it's $1,600 to put your lettuce back in your taco.
See, I think my lettuce is. I think my lettuce is okay. I don't have any complaints about my lettuce, but I would totally get Botox. Like I have the line between my eye. And I wish there's something I could do about the dark circles under my eyes. And I want bigger lips. I've always wanted bigger lips. Like that's why. Y'all remember the cinnamon oil story where I almost burnt my lips off trying to make them plumper for only 2
yeah, with
does it work?
Like that plump lipstick or whatever.
Yeah, it worked. The cinnamon oil worked, but I had to ice my lips before I cried.
I want microblading eyebrows. The microbladed eyebrows.
No, I wouldn't do that either.
That's what I want. But I'm so blonde. I'm really, really blonde. So I'm really afraid that they'll give me like too dark of ones. But I've been like, I eyeball everybody. I'll be like, see people on my Facebook and they'll look a little different. I'll be like, what'd you do your eyebrows? What you do your eyebrows? Because I'm like, really want to get it done.
See,
mine are real light too. And I would be too afraid. Mine are real light. I've never had to really pluck them though. They have a pretty nice shape and they could use to be a little darker because they are really light, but I would never do microblading. That looks like it hurts.
Mine are thick, but they're so blonde that I did look at a thing where you can buy dye now and like dye your eyebrows. And I was looking at that on Amazon the other day because since COVID, I've become an Amazon expert. Since I don't ever leave the house.
Wouldn't that dye your skin? Wouldn't it dye your skin underneath your eyebrow?
some people complain that it does, but I think the trick to it is putting it on that little brush and like brushing the opposite direction from your hair where you're
Okay,
only getting
I
it on the
see.
hair.
Okay.
But a lot of the
Okay.
women use the men's beard dye to do their eyebrows with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I was like, that's very interesting.
Well,
I would look like Sasquish.
I
See,
have really bushy. I have one eyebrow. I've talked about my eyebrows a lot. You know, I have one eyebrow. I have to form it into two. I would totally get the micro blading. And then somebody has put me in a Bath and Body Works group on Facebook, and I don't know who the asshole is that added me. But that's what my feed is, and they don't even talk about Bath and Body Works. And the other day, this woman got her eyebrows microbladed, and they were just really dark. It's just like the doctor said they were lighting up. They would lighten up, and I'm like, okay, so we need updates. Like, I don't know these people. We're not talking about Bath and Body Works, but we're talking about eyebrows now. But they have progressively gotten lighter, you know, as she's went on. But I didn't ask her if it hurts because I like tattoos, so I don't care. I would get it done because I am paranoid about my eyebrows, and I'll just say it right here. I know she says Sasquatch. I was just gonna let it go.
Oh, I always say that. I always say Sasquish.
Okay.
Sasquatch. I know it's Sasquatch. I just always say Sasquish.
I was just gonna skim over like she didn't.
I always say that.
But you know, because on here, like your biggest insecurity is they'll pick up on that, and they'll be like, your eyebrows look like shit. And so now I swear to God, I'm forever doing stuff to my eyebrows because I have low self-esteem.
one of our clinical directors, she's beautiful. She doesn't wear makeup. I pick at her because she looks like what I think my husband would look like if he were a woman, because she's got the pretty olive skin, and my husband has like gray eyes but real black eyelashes and stuff, so it looks like he's got like mascara on, but that's what she looks like. She's so beautiful. She told me one time, she was like, look at me. I come to audit him, and I'm like, she's like, look at me. And I'm like, what? And she was like, look at me. And I'm like, what? And she was like, my face, does it look funny? And I'm like, is this a setup? Do you think you're going to fail the audit and you're going to try to get me fired? And she's like, no, for real. And she paid like $600 to get them done. But I'm going to tell you what, you could not tell they were microbladed. They look like perfect eyebrows. They were beautiful. And she doesn't wear makeup or anything. So what you were looking at was what you got. And that's what really set me to really wanting to do it. I'm like, Kanule's eyebrows look awesome. But she did pay $600, and I think the average price is $300 to $400. So she went to a really good place and had them done.
Oh, I'd be too afraid. Did you see what Jeff said, Sasquatch?
So yeah. And then no, focus on the eyebrows. No, okay. So I just looked up the paint pots. No, my eyebrows are so dark. Like I don't even know what to do. Okay, I don't know what to do.
What's a paint pot?
It's Dip Brow. It says Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow is what popped up when I put that in. It's pomade, and what do I do? Yeah, Brown Eyed Girl has amazing eyebrows.
Yes, she does.
Mm-hmm.
There's a girl called Harmony, I think, that's on YouTube, and she dyes hers, and they look really good. I think her name is Harmony. She shows the brand of dye that she uses, and you can actually like reuse it. So if you use it like one week, you can use some more next week or whenever they start to. You don't have to keep rebuying dye. But then again, like I said, mine are blonde, so it's hard to, do you go with a reddish color? Do you go with a grayish color? Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't know. I have that pomade. It's intense though. You have to learn to use it. Say there, lip gloss kitten. Hey, gorgeous.
Does it stain, Desiree, or does it just like go on your? How does it? Because I really need to do something about them brows. I can't do a lot about everything else, but hey, I can do something with my brows.
Yeah.
I don't think till after COVID I'm gonna be able to get jacked up and put on the rack. So
Jacked up on the rack.
I need some work. I think I might try Botox. So they've been really, really. I'm not gonna be able to tell my husband. I'm just gonna have to pull my bang. I'm so afraid I'm gonna be one of the people that has like, because I have bug eyes. I'm afraid I'm gonna be one of the people that has like one eyebrow all jacked up in the air and the other one is like way down, so it looks like you're going And I'll have to wear my bangs across my face for 6 months so he don't see what I did.
Yeah. Cynthia. Yeah, I haven't got my eyebrows done in so long because I feel like they're not doing them right because I got made fun of and then someone said, well, then you need to change the lines. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do with my eyebrows.
I don't know. To me, your eyebrows always look good in the picture. Your eye makeup and your eyebrows always look on point.
Thank
But
you. Thank you.
that's me. I mean, and you can see yours because you keep your hair. Which the first thing I will say, the first thing that made me start watching your channel is I was like, look at her hair. It's purple. Oh, that's so cool. That's.
Thank you.
I was like, that was my biggest thing. But I'm too much of a chicken. I can't do nothing cool like that. Plus, my kids would rag on me. I don't got nice kids.
Oh, my kids rag on me, but I don't care. Of course, it's brown right now for work. I had to go right now. They're back to, we have to have normal colors, but they do that once every few years and I have to be regular for a little while, but you think, and so I've quit. What I've done is I got this, eyebrow thing. It's, I forgot what it's called, but it kind of shaves them and shapes them. And so that's what I've been using. The other day I pulled out 2 gray ones and them suckers was well in there. Made me sneeze. I love the Sky High mascara. So far I have not broken off my eyelashes like Cynthia did.
Broken them. Oh, I'm gonna have to try that.
Sky High. I think it's by L'Oreal, Sky High. It's really good.
I have really long lashes though, so if I'm not careful and it's one of those lash extending mascaras, it'll get in my eyebrows. I have to keep my eyes closed for a few minutes afterwards, or my lashes will dye my eyebrow black or get black spots on my eyebrow.
Yeah, I have to be careful if I'm not using my contact lenses and I'm going to wear my glasses that day. I have to be careful and not blink because it gets on my lenses of my eyelashes. I mean, of my glasses because I have long eyelashes.
Does that stuff make them extra long or just help thicken them up or what?
It makes them long.
Okay. That's cool. I need to try that. Not that I go anywhere but look at myself, but when I get my second shot, I'm going to try to venture out a little bit.
That'll be good. It is hard to have brows so I grew up in the 80s and then I always want to say I grew up in the 90s, but I didn't. I really grew up in the 80s. But the thinner the eyebrow, the better. You know, that you could get your eyebrows thin and your hair high, you was fine. And nobody really even cared about your eyebrows back then. They just really cared about how blue your eyeshadow was.
Yeah.
And as long as your eyeshadow touched your eyebrow, you was okay, good to go. Those were good days.
The big hair days. See, I'm from the Brooke Shields generation. We all about some bushy brows.
Yeah, see? And that's what they used to say to me when I was younger. Oh, you have Brooke Shields eyebrows. You have Brooke Shields eyebrows. And I would feel so good about myself. And then now that's a bad thing to have Brooke Shields eyebrows and you suck.
These girls that are wearing these new eyebrows though that are all shaped up, I'm not into that, but I will say it looks good on them. It wouldn't work on me, but it looks good on them. The way they have them boxed off, and you know they're fake. It's definite, but they still look good.
Yes, my youngest can do her eyebrows so great. They're so pretty. Lori D, it's good to see you. But my oldest, like, she don't even care. Like, she'll do them and then she'll let them grow out. But my youngest, she keeps that makeup on point. Those things are bulletproof. My eyelashes are. My hair used to be. It's not now.
Yeah,
big
that's
hair,
me.
Big shoulders. Yes.
My makeup used to be my thing. But I went to beauty school, and all you do is sit around all day is do your makeup and do your hair. So Now I'm like, fucking.
Oh no, Ditsy girl. She said she tried to scrape them and she ended up with needles. Oh no.
I will say in 7th grade, I accidentally shaved one of mine off. I was trying to shape it and I took the whole back side of it. And then my friend tried to help me and ended up, I lost the whole eyebrow. I might can find that yearbook. If I can, I'll put it on Twitter. It's pretty terrifying. It was a traumatic experience in my life.
And I've heard a YouTuber completely humiliated when a creator slandered her when he said she has scrambled egg nipples.
Scrambled egg. Is that when they have gigantic nipples?
I think wouldn't that be fried eggs? I don't know what scrambled eggs.
I don't either. I mean, there was a girl I used to supervise, and I had to tell her to wear a bra because her nipples were so big, and she would wear a white shirt, and it looked like she was cross-eyed, but it still looked like she was looking right at you. You could see them through the thing. It was like, hey, chick, this is a prison.
Yeah.
We got to get that in check.
Yeah.
That little wall-eyed look just ain't cutting it.
Wall-eyed look. I have long hair, but no lashes or eyebrows. Well, I have 4 or 5 that look amazing.
That is too funny.
That's so funny. Bless your heart.
Yes, scrambled egg nipples. I don't know what. Yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah, that's a new one. I'm sorry. I hope the person isn't listening that was said to, and that's an asshole thing to say. I don't know what that even means. Scrambled eggs.
But there's some of them that'll try. Like, there's one that tries to insult me all the time, and she'll be popping off shit. And when I am listening, I try not to listen anymore. And I'll just be like, "What the fuck? What? You lost me. I can't even get mad because you got me so confused."
Yeah. You scared of guns, little girl? Well, as a matter of fact, yes.
What the hell?
Yeah. Matter of fact, yes, I am.
Oh yeah, hell, let me. I don't. That one. Every time that comes up, I would piss my pants if they drew down on me. I would literally piss my pants. Do I own guns? Yes, I own guns. Did I have a service weapon? Yes, I did. But if somebody pulled a gun on me, I would piss myself.
Yes, yeah, and so would she. I'm telling you.
Well, you piss your pants on live stream. You have a heart attack because somebody called. We all know who it was, but I'll never forget that video. That you don't know who we are. You don't know who we are. I'm gonna have to get called. Tell him. Yeah, you don't know who we are. Yeah, tell him. Who the fuck are you? Can you please tell me? Can we stop with the nonsense? Just tell me who the fuck you are. Inquiring minds want to know. Who are you? Is there a song? Oh yeah, there is. My kids used to sing that when that cop show would come on. Who are you? Maybe I need to do a video on her and play that song. Who are you? Fuck.
You don't know who I am, little girl.
Yes, that. Show your shit. Well, do not show your shit, because when I showed my shit to Susan, she dragged me for a week for showing my shit.
Yeah.
No, not showing my shit.
Mm-mm.
Maybe she's mad. Maybe she needs her lettuce back in her taco.
Yeah. Yeah. She needs to use her taco. You either use it or you lose it. That's what I hear.
So one night I was listening to her and I somehow unplugged my thing or whatever, so it was playing out loud, and she was dragging my husband, and I was sitting there and I guess he could tell, and he looked at me, he said, "Is she talking about me?" And I was like, "Yes." She called him a feminine man. So the next day my best friend was over and I said, I played it for her, and she was like, "That bitch is crazy." And she was like, "Wait, is she talking about Bubba?" And I was like, "Yeah." She says, "She's calling Bubba a feminine." what kind of men does she deal with? And she was like, that's fucking, if you knew my husband is anything but. My husband said she needs to get laid.
Yeah.
Well, I think that, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Ew, that's all we can say. Well, no, it's been 2 hours. I'm gonna get off of here and I'm gonna finish today's trial up and get ready. I gotta work tomorrow, but I should be back on Saturday night, and hopefully, won't be any drama. I enjoyed this a lot. I appreciate y'all coming up.
I'm sorry I stayed so long. I just meant to come in
No,
and make a comment and brush off. Andy, can you please straighten that picture on your wall?
I will, and you know what? I'm going to dust it too. I'm at it. I'm going to dust that sucker right out.
show your shit, little girls.
Y'all have a good night.
All right. Good night, guys.
I enjoyed you coming
Bye.
up. Good night, y'all. Bye, everybody.
Bye.